Hey guys, I want to talk to you for a second about Jonathan Haidt's paper, The Emotional Dog and Its Rational Tail. It's kind of a hard paper to understand on your own, so I thought maybe I'd do a quick explainer. If you take a look at the abstract on that paper, which I just have the front page here, there's a passage where he says, reasoning does not cause judgment. Reasoning does not cause judgment. Rather, reasoning is usually a post hoc construction generated after the judgment has been reached. So what that means is most of the time we kind of draw conclusions intuitively. We think intuitively. We think from the gut. So this is kind of a major critical thinking failure. So we intuit our certain answers, and then we kind of, after the fact, engineer the reasons to support the conclusion that we have. It's a pretty bad bias that we have, and so Haidt's paper is a descriptive account of how we normally think. And if we want to be good critical thinkers, we have to understand that that's a bias that we have. And we have to actively work to overcome that. So rather than kind of intuitively deciding what we want to be true and then coming up with reasons to support that, we really need to take reasons and let that dictate our conclusions. We kind of need to invert what we ordinarily do. And part of the reason that it's not such a great idea to work from intuition is that our intuitions are often like hilariously bad, really bad. Some of the puzzles that I included on our page are meant to illustrate just how bad we are intuitively. So like the birthday paradox, the Monty Hall problem, the various illusions that we have. So you certain things you see, but you think they're a certain way, but they're actually not that way. Attention effect, which is one of the things we focus on. The second auction, second price auction, excuse me. These are all examples of ways in which our intuitions are just reliably bad. So what your gut tells you is not always a good thing to follow. And if you want to be a good critical thinker, you have to understand that we have this kind of built-in bias that pushes us to go with our gut, when really, human beings are unique in our capacity to think rationally. And so we have to actively work at, okay, my gut tells me that this is true. Am I just coming up with reasons to support what my gut says, or are there actual reasons to support the conclusion that I have? So the challenge here, and the point of Haidt's paper, is that descriptively, we're not very good at this. It's not kind of innately something that we're good at. It's something that we have to practice. So we have our intuitions that give us strong feelings about a certain thing, but if we really want to be a good critical thinker and work rationally, we have to sort of acknowledge the fact that there's a limitation there and see if in fact our reasons lead to the conclusions that we hold.